Welcome to a special edition of the Nerd Enthusiast Gaming Podcast. For our normal listeners, we are not going to be starting out playing a game. I know that's usually what we do, but we are on the precipice of a new generation of video game consoles. The PS5 and the Xbox One Series... already messed that up, huh? Xbox Series X.
Yeah.
Change your damn name, Microsoft.
We don't want Xbox.
I love Xbox. Not a good name.
PlayStation 5.
We are going to discuss the PS5 today. We will be doing a separate one for Xbox, so I hope you guys enjoy it. We're mostly going to be looking at hardware, user interface, and touching briefly on the games. So let's jump right into things.
Yes.
Jenny, what were your initial thoughts on the PlayStation 5?
Well, I think the excitement of getting it was like the coolest thing, honestly. The build-up was very exciting. Getting it was very exciting.
The hype?
Yeah, the hype was so exciting, but the box. First impression, the box, obviously.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you
Get
can't really avoid it. There's no avoiding the gargantuan box that it comes in.
That thing is like the size of me. Like my whole torso.
It's large.
It is large. It is heavy.
Should we do an impromptu? Should I just hand you the box real quick?
Yes!
All right.
Size comparison. This box is huge. She's a big girl. No, she a big girl. Oh my god. Just like pulling it in a long frame, basically. Yeah. She big.
No doubt.
My god. So yeah, you get that in your face.
Yeah, so that's the box.
Yeah.
Jenny had,
Yeah, once
that
you get
giant
that, trying to carry that was a struggle. You open the system. I would say it's just as big as that box when you open out of there, yeah?
Pretty much
you would
the
think
size
there'd be,
of that box.
Yeah, you'd think there'd be like empty space or something.
There was like...
a little bit.
There was a box on top of it like this big, and that comes with like your power cable, your HDMI cable, and your controller. Once you pull that out, the rest is all system.
Yeah, she in there. Taking it out, heavy. I think the coolest thing getting it was the stand. That was a first.
Yeah, it comes with a stand.
Yeah, it comes with the stand.
And that stand, you can use, just so you guys know, you can use the stand for a horizontal sitting or vertical. So you can do either one with that stand.
Yes, and that's convenient because I don't have a lot of space. So obviously, yeah, I have it standing up.
That was one of the questions I was going to ask you. I was curious about that. So you have it standing up.
Yes, I do have it standing up.
Now,
that was the first thing I did.
A follow-up question.
Oh?
Was that by choice? Or did you have to stand it up due to your space?
Had to stand it up.
Okay.
I did. Yeah, that was the first thing I considered even before getting the PlayStation 5, where I was going to put it. I knew this thing was going to be huge. I'm going to have to make a space for it. And laying it down, unfortunately, wasn't an option. I would prefer it to lay down. It feels safer, just in case of, like, I don't know, an earthquake. We in California.
Yeah, no doubt.
You don't know what's going to happen.
Earthquakes are real.
Yeah, and I don't want that thing to fall. And I have it on a shelf. So it makes me a little nervous, but I mean, space-wise, only thing possible.
So mine is sitting down on its side. Yeah. Mine is not standing up, but it's also kind of due to space. Like I have like these glass shelves, but the glass is actually adjustable. Oh. So I can make different sizes if I wanted to.
You could make it stand up then.
I could make it stand up, and I was thinking about it, and I went over it, and I'm like, first off, I had to move a bunch of cables around. Yeah. Like, I'm already talking about 30 minutes of work here, figuring out where these cables go, reorganizing all that. I was like, nah, not happening. I'm just going to lay this thing down.
And you wouldn't think, too, because it only has, like, what, 2 cables? You only really need...
It only has 2 cables, but I have, like, 3 hard drives. I have, my Ethernet, or my my internet, my Wi-Fi is down there. My box for that is down there. I have multiple consoles hooked up to the same TV. There's just there was options, but it was just way more work than it was worth.
It was, no matter what, getting that system, I think, is going to be a setup.
I like it laying down. I like you said about the falling over thing. That thought did cross my head. Yeah. And when you look at the odd shape of the system, you feel like if it fell over, it might crack the plastic.
Oh, yeah.
So that was also a concern of mine. So I was way more comfortable laying it down.
Yeah, but the stand, I think, makes it feel a little more safe. I don't know if that was their goal, too. This is the first time, too, I've had a system that's standing up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, as weird as it is. Wow.
I mean, I had options in the past, but I've always chose to sit mine down because of the safer aspect.
Yep, exactly. Your first impressions. Obviously, the size.
So the size, you take it out of the box. let me talk about the box for a second.
Yeah.
I won't go on too much of a tangent. I have an Xbox Series X and I have a PS5. Opened them both within, probably like a 2-day span. Even though I got the Xbox first, I ended up opening the PlayStation first just because I've been working like nonstop since the systems came out.
Yeah.
So I didn't have a lot of time. And what I noticed was I took out the PS5 and I felt very underwhelmed by everything in the box. Like not the system, but like the packaging. The cardboard on the box is like very flimsy and very cheap, and I'm somebody who keeps my boxes, so that box is going to get damaged. There's no way I can protect that box unless I buy some sort of giant plastic thing to like protect the box. Second off, I sell systems, so I know like how they are. The first system I took out of a box when I was taking them into my store, I grabbed it by the handle because there's a handle.
Yeah.
And the handle broke. The first
one. And
then I tried to avoid touching the handles, and I grabbed another one at some point by accident.
And it broke. Too?
So if you get a PS5, guys, don't use the handles.
Yeah.
The packaging is just cheap.
But
it comes
that thing
off
is
as cheap.
Small, yeah.
Yeah. The packaging just comes off as cheap. It comes like they obviously didn't spend a lot of money on the packaging. It looks okay if you look at like the pictures and stuff. It's very like sleek as far as that goes. But the quality of the cardboard is cheap. There used to be like these weird cardboard things that held your systems in. They were like a hard cardboard. But now it's plastic. So the actual thing that holds the system inside of there is plastic, and it feels cheap.
I wonder if there was a reason why. Maybe to make it cheaper for us too. That might have been
I think it was just a cost-cutting measure for them for the most part. But then I opened the Xbox Series X up, and I'll show it to you later.
Yeah.
It was like a whole presentation.
Oh.
It was like a glorious thing when you open it up. Like they really took some time.
That should be an experience when you're opening up that system.
Even the way the box opens, it opens almost like you're like opening up something that's very expensive. Like
the music's gonna
exactly
play.
Like that. It opens like this. It doesn't open like let me slide this out.
This needed two people. Like I couldn't do it by myself. You have to be scared. When you're taking it out too.
It was. Sony cheaped out on it, so just be aware of that. It's not a big deal. Obviously, the console inside is more important than the box, but it's just like...
But if you're a collector and stuff and you care about that condition, definitely, yeah. And I was so scared opening it up, too.
Oh, I thought for sure I would rip it. Luckily, I didn't so far. But like I said, it's like a time bomb. That thing is so cheaply made.
Yeah.
So that was my initial impression was the box, and then the second thing was like, I heard this thing is big. How big is this? Oh, boy. She's large.
Yeah, she is.
She's a big
large
girl.
And in charge.
I put it on my entertainment system. I didn't say anything to my wife. I waited like a day, and I was like, "So did you see that PlayStation? What did you think of that?" And she's like, "That thing is huge and ugly."
Ugly. Oh, okay.
Yeah, not a fan.
I don't hate the look of it. I know it's getting a lot of kind of crap for the internet router look.
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing.
When it's standing up.
It does. I actually put it near my routers.
I think the Xbox looks even more like a router, to be fair.
Oh, you're right. That more square like the Spectrum.
Yeah.
But this one's too big, too.
For sure.
Yeah.
So those were my initial thoughts just out of the box.
Mm-hmm. But another thing that I really like though on the console, did you see the textures not only on the console but on the controller?
Oh, think that is the sexiest thing.
The coolest thing I think PlayStation.
You're talking about the grip of the controller.
Yes.
Good Lord.
Yes.
If you're a PlayStation fan, there is so much to love that's inside and outside of the console, which is great.
Yeah. They really cater to like those hardcore fans, I feel too. I don't know. Maybe I just appreciate it a little more. I don't know. Maybe everyone else does too. But those little fine details really like put it over the top for me.
There's a lot of lineage there. So the detail she's talking about in the grip is the sacred symbols. It is the triangle, square. I'm sorry. No, I'm right. Oh. Triangle, square, circle, and cross.
Cross, that.
Didn't say X. I thought I said X for a second. Being like an American. It is a cross, not an X.
I always called it X.
It is cross.
I know. And you know how I found out? When you turn on the PlayStation, I don't know if you noticed this, they're like, press cross. And I was like, yep. They had to like lay it down right there.
Definitely.
No more arguments. Here it is.
Yeah. They said that, but in turn,
Yeah.
in Japan they switched the buttons around. Like in Japan, circle used to mean accept,
right,
and X would mean to cancel, which
right.
kind of makes sense. It makes a lot of sense if you think about it. But in America, it's always been X is accept and circle is cancel. And in Japan, for the PlayStation 5, they switched it.
Oh, did
so they made it like the American version now. So in Japan for the PS5 for the first time, X is accept and circle is back, where it was the reverse of that before.
So we're all in this together now.
We are. So the sacred symbols are on the grip is what we were getting at. So if you check the grip, if you look really closely, you'll see the little symbols in there.
I think that was great about the controller.
Very rad.
Obviously, there was a lot of other good stuff about the controller.
Yes, definitely.
Oh my god, I don't even know where to start. I guess the vibrations. The vibrations.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Astro's Playroom in a little bit. So I'm not going to go too in depth on this, but if you've watched if you heard or listened to or watched other podcasts, you probably heard a lot of people talk about like, oh my god, the controller really is a game changer. I have been a hardcore Xbox controller fan. I'm not going to say Xbox fan because I love all systems. I'm console agnostic. But I always prefer the Xbox controller from
that is true.
From the 360 to now.
Yes.
They actually have competition for the first time from PlayStation, and PlayStation may have outdone them.
Oh, really?
I still don't like the fact that there's no offset thumbsticks, but this is the most impressive controller Sony has ever made, full stop.
Okay. Does it feel like an Xbox controller to you?
It feels more like an Xbox controller with the exception that the thumbsticks are not offset. Because that's still that's almost like a PlayStation thing at this point.
Right. Yeah. That was actually one of my first impressions too. When I held the controller, it didn't feel like the PlayStation.
It feels heavier.
It feels heavier. It feels sturdier, and it feels like thicker.
It does.
Like an Xbox controller.
But it feels right.
It does. It does. It doesn't feel like a weird jump either. Like when I'm holding an Xbox controller, I'm like, okay, how do we use this again? I was still able to jump back into it.
Nice.
Yeah, it was great. It's a good controller.
Definitely is.
It really is.
The button layout, the one thing I would like, I understand that we're really going for like aesthetics. Like obviously they really took a lot of time engineering this. The buttons don't have the colors of the symbols on them, which I don't like that. I'd like having the colors, but I also think it would take away from it would look weird. It would really stand out on that controller.
Yeah, I was even hoping they would have some sort of lights to it, kind of like they do at the touchpad. If you notice that changes colors, when you're playing games. And I was hoping they'd do something like that. Then it would turn on and off, and there'd be kind of like that option. But yeah, I definitely would prefer some color to it too. But that's their idea. They like the sleek, the minimalistic look.
That's definitely what they're going for.
Yeah, that's
it looks
future.
like an Apple product. When you get the box, you're like, it feels like you're buying a giant iPhone.
Yeah, it really does feel like the future is now. This system is insane.
Yeah, like so let's talk about a couple of the features really quick. There's haptic feedback, which is the rumble inside the controller. I haven't played. I know haptic feedback was a thing on Xbox One. The adaptive triggers, I believe, are the newest feature, which I don't think the Xbox controllers had at all. But I could be wrong about this, by the way, so double check. But the haptic feedback was definitely in the Xbox One controllers, and I never noticed it as much. Like I don't think they spent enough time on it. But the limited time I have had with the PS5, the haptic feedback is incredible. It works extremely well, and like you really do feel like touching on it very briefly in Astro's Playroom when it rains, like you really feel like it's raining in the controller. It is so unique and different, and it's hard to explain this to you verbally until you have the controller in your hand.
This system, it really is an experience. Like you can't even describe that. Like when you're rolling through the mud in Astro's Playroom, you feel like the textures, you feel the rumbles of like the uneven ground. I'm like, what is this feeling? Or the wind hitting you when you're walking across.
It reminds me of VR, how you can't explain that to somebody. They're like, no, you just have to put the headset on to understand. And the controller's the same way. Once you have it in your hand, that's when you're going to understand.
Yeah, 100%. And it's interesting to see what other games are going to do with that for sure.
That is the big question.
Yes.
This, when we get into more of Astro's Playroom, that's the one main game that Jenny and I both had played, and it really showcases the controller. And the question is, are these third-party developers going to continue using the controller, or is this going to be something like the Vita, where if you played Uncharted Golden Abyss on the Vita, which was a great game, it utilized all these functions on the Vita. It used like the back touchpad, it used like the camera, it used everything.
Oh yeah.
And then like no other games after that really used it.
No other games want to deal with it. It might be too much work too as well.
Yep.
Money.
It's going to cost more to develop those unique things where they can just port it without those to the Xbox and to the PC as well. Mm-hmm. So I'll be interested to see what happens with that.
Yeah, the controller has a lot of updates to do.
Now, a good segue from the controller is the controller charger, which neither one of us have gotten.
No.
It is something I would like to get, though.
Yeah, me too.
This is a first-party accessory. It's developed by Sony. It's not a third-party. It's $30 for the controller charger.
Not a bad price.
You just lay the controller on top of it and it charges it for you. They're $30. Is that something you plan on getting in the future?
I would like to, but I have so many Type-C chargers now that we're on Type-C. This is going to be so much easier for me. Like, before, I would have wanted a dock just because I hated the micro USB cables, and I hated having those. No.
The first micro USB thing that I think that I used was for the Nintendo Switch when I got my Pro controller. And I was like, this is amazing. I can't believe this isn't in everything. But now we're getting to a point where it's starting to like become like the normal thing.
It's important, yeah. Everyone cares about their cables.
Yeah. USB-C is definitely a huge advantage. You don't have to flip it to the right side. Nope. Every side is the right side.
Easy. And now it's going to be on all my systems. Now it's going to be for my Switch. I can just jump over there. My phone. Don't have to worry about it.
When we get you a new Xbox one day, that takes USB-C as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Maybe.
One day. It's going to happen. Yeah, that's something I would probably get in the future for sure. I definitely see the value in it. I did not pick up one on day one just to limited resources. I'm not going to spend like $8 billion on this stuff. Yeah. The camera was something we both wanted at first, but we both decided against. What was your reasoning for that?
My reason to get the camera in the first place was for VR. That is the only time I've ever used a camera. I have actually used it a little bit for streaming. But
on Twitch?
Yeah, or no, really? on the YouTube. I can YouTube.
On the YouTube,
on
kids.
The YouTubes. But other than that, I never really used the camera. And then I found out you can't use your PS4 VR camera on the PS5. You would have to get an adapter.
Right.
So until that happened, I'm like, I don't want to spend $60 on a brand new camera. Nothing else to really use it for, right? No games yet.
You actually influenced my decision to cancel my camera as well because I had that pre-ordered too.
Yeah.
And it was for the similar reason, like where I'm not really going to use this. So the camera I would use for PSVR, but it's not compatible with PSVR.
Nope.
Just so you guys know, you need to use a PS4 camera and you need to get an adapter. The adapter I had already ordered, so that wasn't going to be a problem. I can still, once I have the adapter, I think I could still stream with the PS4 camera. It just won't be the PS5 camera. So there was no real reason for me to get a PS5 camera other than wanting to stream right away, right now. Yeah. And if you haven't noticed, I don't stream. So it was like, what am I getting this thing for?
What is the point? And I wonder if the specs are upgraded. I didn't look into that.
I think it just does 1080p, which is, I'm pretty sure that's what the old camera does. Is the same as the 4?
Yeah. At that point, there's no.
So $60, I was like, dude, that's a game. I can buy a game with that $60. So I decided against that.
But if someone wanted, I guess, start off with the whole bundle, I guess they could get it.
It matches your console, I'll say that.
Yeah, it's a cool looking camera.
If you want it for that, if you need something to stream with right away, that's what you should get it for.
Yeah, good price.
Then there was the media remote. Did you get a media remote? Why or why not?
Nope. Never have. Never will, I don't think.
Okay.
I've never had a use for one. I know the PS3 had one. I know the PS4 had one, right?
Yeah,
but
they did.
Yeah, I never. Yeah, never.
So
how? Need to.
So, are you using cable, like cable television?
Nope, I just use my smart TV, and that's it. Yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, I'm in the same boat. So I didn't get it either, and the reason is this: like I've had an Xbox One X, I've had a PS4 Pro, and those all had the same apps, you know, like Hulu, Netflix, all that stuff. Yeah. And I have a 4K Fire Stick. And I watch everything through the 4K Fire Stick. I do not want my consoles turned on like for hours at a time if I'm like watching like a movie or like TV or something. I'd much rather just use my Fire Stick. And I didn't see the point in getting that when I know that I'm really not going to use it. When I can watch 4K through my TV, through a different device that doesn't cause my PlayStation to be on for hours at a time.
Yeah. And how much was the media remote?
It was $29.99.
Okay.
It could have been $20. It should have been $20, and this is the reason, right? You can go buy a 4K Fire Stick right now for like $50.
Oh.
You get the Fire Stick and a remote with it. And you don't have to leave your PlayStation running.
Yeah.
So, my personal opinion is you skip that. That's just my personal.
I couldn't see the reason to get one either, 100%.
No, not when you can spend $20 more and get a different device where you don't have to leave your PlayStation turned on.
Yeah, not a good startup item.
Yeah. And then finally, this is something I wanted to get, but I did not get it yet. I probably, if I don't get these headphones, I will get some in the future, but they are the 3D audio headphones, the Pulse headphones from Sony.
Mm-hmm.
I did want these. I did not pre-order them. I didn't have any extras. I did not buy these at first. Did you get the headphones? Did you want the headphones?
I wanted the headphones because 3D audio, that's like a thing that only PlayStation does, correct? Kind of thing. He's like, oh, well, let me school you for a second.
No, so 3D audio you can get from different devices, but that was something that PlayStation really pushed. You can buy a non-Sony headset right now that does 3D audio and get the same effects out of it.
Oh, okay. Because I feel like that would have been a whole other level to the experience with the PS5, with the 3D audio, with the headphones. If you could get the headphones, I would say get the headphones. I would have got the headphones if I could have got the headphones.
I would probably say the best headphones to buy are like 99.9% of the time they're always wired headphones. So these are wireless headphones. They are not going to be top of the line. They're not going to be the best headphones you can buy. You can probably spend $200, $300 or more $100 on better headphones that do 3D audio. But most people aren't going to go dropping $300+ on headphones. For you to spend $100 and get really good quality headphones from Sony that are completely wireless is probably a good choice for most consumers, and which is something that attracts me. I had, just so you guys know, I had the PlayStation 4 Gold wireless headset, which when they first came out, that's when I bought it. They were like $100 or so when they first came out, and that was a great headset. I used that for probably about 3 years.
Oh wow!
I even used it on my Xbox because I could plug it in.
They didn't do too good, did they? I heard like a lot of people didn't like the comfortability and the sound too much on it.
I had no complaints with those headphones. Yeah, I thought they were pretty good. I've used headphones after that I thought were better, but you know, those were wired headphones that were as expensive. So wired headphones are always cheaper, and you're usually gonna get better quality out of them. It just depends on what you guys want to do.
Yeah.
But you can do 3D audio with other headphones. I would just say these are designed by Sony. They're there for a reason. They spend a lot of time talking about the audio. And I think when you buy the Sony ones, there's an app you can download.
Oh.
And it will, it does sound tests in your ear. So you can kind of adjust it to the way and the shape of your ear is to make it sound better.
That's pretty neat. That's high tech, though.
And I don't know if that app is free for all headphones. It may just be the Sony one. So that may be another reason to get the Sony headphones.
If they come back out, right? If you can even find them.
Yeah, I mean, that's the struggle right now. All this stuff is kind of hard to find, except for controllers. Controllers seem to be possible to get. So what to do first, right? You got your system now. It's opened up. It's out of the box. You know, you've gone through your own first impressions.
Yeah, you got all your accessories.
I'm going to give you all a fair warning. These at least my controller, I don't know what your experience is like. My controller came like barely charged at all. Please charge your controller immediately. Just plug that sumbitch in as soon as you possibly can and keep it in there for quite a while. Put your system in rest mode and fully charge your controller.
It's not worth it. Having that controller die on you in the middle of a game, nothing is more angering.
Have you fully charged your controller and used it through a playthrough? Or not yet?
I don't think I have fully charged it. I've had a few times where it keeps dying on me. So that is important to
I feel like that's a problem with this. I feel like the battery is probably... like PS4 controllers never had great batteries, and I feel like it might be worse than the PS4 controllers, if not the same. It's certainly not better than the PS4 controllers.
No, it's not.
Keep that thing charged.
It's still a good controller.
It's a great controller, but it does suck up the battery pretty fast. The second thing I want to talk about with this is setting up your TV. I'm not going to get into full depth. I'm not going to tell you guys how to set up your TV. I'm not going to go into explanations because all your TVs are unique and different. If you want to get the most out of your PS5, and I'm talking about the full 4K, the most frames that your TV can handle, you need to Google that shit. Find out what kind of TV you have. Find out the settings. Optimize it for gaming. You know, there's probably not going to be articles to tell you how to optimize it for PS5 specifically, But to get like 4K turned on, to get HDR turned on, to get the highest frames you can, you need to change your TV. You cannot just plug this system in and this system recognizes what your TV is like and adjusts the settings to that. To be fair, I have hooked up my Xbox Series X, and when you hook it up, it does notice some of those settings immediately, and it will give you the option to auto change to what your TV has.
That is so great. I wish the PlayStation 5 did that, because for someone that's like a little not too savvy on setting up the whole TV and setting all the specific settings, that would have been so helpful. And now I feel like I'm not getting my full money's worth from my PlayStation.
It will turn on like HDR and stuff like that. But either way, like even if you have an Xbox, you need to turn on those features on your television. If you don't turn them on, it doesn't matter if your PlayStation understands it. It doesn't matter if your Xbox understands that your TV has it. Your TV has to be telling the Xbox to accept that input. Okay. So it's extremely important to do. And if you guys don't do that, that's cool. You can save yourself the 20 minutes, but you're getting a lesser experience for your money.
You're not getting that full experience.
And finally, we come to transferring stuff. Now, I haven't really transferred anything over. I believe you have, right?
I have attempted, yes. I don't want to throw out my PS4 yet. And I still want to play games. I want to jump through system to system. I think that's still kind of a struggle. I know they do have the remote play from your PS4. I don't know if you've seen that. You can play your PS5 through your PS4. I still don't understand it to a certainty. I haven't tried it yet either, because I'm like...
I'll give you an example as to why you would want to do that.
Okay.
You get your PS5, and you only had one PS4. You hook your PS4 up in your bedroom. Now you can play PS5 games on your PS4 in your bedroom.
But with like a little less latency, or like it won't be.
You're still gonna have a little bit of latency.
Well, it won't be like the full.
No, you're not gonna get. You're not gonna get. The full features. I'm like, yeah, you're not gonna get the full features.
Yeah, I get it. I just don't think it would be like. I don't know why play your PS5 on your PS4. Just go play your PS5. It makes me mad.
The only time remote play ever made sense to me was like having the Vita, and it was like cool. Like even though it's not the same quality, you can take the Vita with you on the go, and it was
or
like
you're
cool.
like chilling on your bed, and you can like lay back and play some PS4 games. I love that, the portable aspect, but like going
the Vita
to my
was
bedroom,
a great system, very underrated.
Were the games though?
That's a topic for another day.
Right. Poor Vita.
Poor Vita. Rest in peace.
But yeah.
So you transferred some of your stuff. How did you transfer your stuff over? Did you just like re-download it?
Yeah, I used the cloud. I was able to download my games back on there, and they show you all your library straight off the bat on the PS5, which is easy. It's great.
Do they show you all of your library?
Yeah,
or
they
most
did show
of your
me.
library?
Yeah, they showed me all my library.
Nothing was missing?
Well, don't say that.
I don't know if they show you all your library or not, but I just looked at the count of games, and I feel like my count was lesser than what I actually have.
Oh, really?
But that could be to things like, for example, PT is not going to show up on there because it's not re-downloadable.
Yeah, it's not on the store anymore.
So there may be a few things on there that I had. This is why you want to keep your old systems, guys.
That too.
Things like as soon as I found out that PT was not transferable to a PS5, I'm like, I'm never getting rid of my PS4. Yeah. I took PT off of my external hard drive. I moved it to the internal hard drive, which is safer because it's like an SSD inside the PS4.
Right.
And I moved it into there. I was like, you will never leave this PS4.
You're here forever.
You're entombed into this PS4 until eternity ends you.
Good. Never lose that.
So I can't lose PT. Yeah. I mean, I can. I mean, that hard drive can still die.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've done every necessary step
to keep it
preserve
alive.
that game for as long as I possibly can.
But I think it's easy enough just starting off with the PS5. You can easily get all your data, easy jump over. I think it was an easy start. I think it was an easy start. Just jumping back and forth, I couldn't do.
I'll give that to you from the aspect of uploading your saves, or I'm sorry, downloading your saves from the cloud that you have uploaded from your PS4, and re-downloading games to your PS4. I get all that, but for someone like me who's an absolute psychopath, I have all my games downloaded to an external hard drive. I have over 200 games, maybe 300 games. I don't effing know. I have no clue. but they're all on an external hard drive.
Oh.
I have an 8 terabyte hard drive with almost all of my PS4 games on it. And Sony was like, yes, you can insert an external hard drive into a PS5.
Yeah.
And you won't necessarily be able to run those games like from like getting the PS5 features. You'll still be able to run those as like PS4 games.
Yeah.
But they'll work. And then like right before the system came out, they were like, oh, by the way, right now, your external hard drives don't work. So don't bother plugging one in. So I have hundreds of games that I can't, I mean, I can go and re-download them and take a whole bunch of time and resources to do so.
Yeah.
But I can't even use my external hard drive. What are you guys doing? You know what happened with my Xbox Series X when I hooked that up? I got 2 hard drives for that bad boy.
Yeah.
I hooked up hard drive 1. I hooked up hard drive 2. I turned on the system. Every game was there.
Oh, PlayStation. Oh, that's a shame.
And if I want to get the features, all I have to do is move it from the hard. I get it.
Yeah.
All the features won't be there unless I move it to the internal hard drive.
Mm-hmm.
But I can do that on my Xbox, and I cannot do that on my PS5. It's horseshit.
Yeah.
I have other options, right?
They can add it on later, right?
They are going to patch it in later where I can do that, but it's just like, how do you not have that ready for day
ready
one?
on launch. Yeah, people want to play their games. They got a new system.
I know I'm crazy. I know there's not many of us who have hard drives filled with games,
Yeah.
but there are some of those out there. We do exist.
I guess y'all have to wait.
And we have no choice. The other option is to hook up an Ethernet cable from my PS4 to my PS5 and ship everything over via Ethernet cable. If I already did this on my hard drive, do you think I'm going to spend the time doing that again? No. I'm going to keep my PS4 hooked up until the day you tell me I can plug that hard drive into my PS5 and it's good to go. That's what I'm going to have to wait for.
I guess they don't want us to get rid of our PS4s yet. They don't want us to throw them in the dumpster. They want us to hold on to them.
They should never... First of all, don't get rid of your old hardware. Keep that old hardware.
True.
You're going to find a reason for it one day, whether it's having PT on a hard drive, whether in the future, maybe all these adapters for the cameras fail and then you can't use PSVR on your, on your PS5 anymore.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe the PS5, they should have waited. Maybe they should have waited for launch until they were like to the T ready for all of this, like the adapters ready to ship out, the hardware ready.
I think they were pressed by Microsoft to do that. I think there was a couple of things like the adapters they're not ready. No. Anybody who's ordered a PSVR adapter is not ready.
No.
Not having the storage ready, like PlayStation was, I'm not saying they were missing the mark by like a mile, but they were missing the mark by like a month. Yeah. If they had probably another month or two to prep this stuff, they would have had those adapters ready.
Yep.
They would have had the storage situation figured out.
Yeah.
But they did, that is a miss with the PS5.
Yeah.
So just be aware of those things, guys.
But I mean, that always happens, right? With the first system, there's going to be those little bugs, those little crinks, We'll see where it goes.
We will, indeed. Let's talk about the user interface next.
Let's get into that system.
So you turned on your PlayStation at this point. You hop in, you see some menus, you see some different things. Mm-hmm. Jenny, did you like what you saw, and why or why not did you like it?
I did. It is, I would say, pretty similar to the PS4 jumping in. You can easily guide yourself around, figure it out. The little takeaways are the home button. We don't have much of a socialization on your homepage.
Your socialization is hidden, let's say.
Yeah. It's harder to find those little things, those trophies, what your friends are doing.
I didn't even think about the trophies. Where the hell are the trophies on that thing?
It is definitely... You need to take some time and we need to go through it. It is... Yeah, and then another negative, the themes. The customization to your PlayStation, like that was so important to me. I love having like my own theme when I turn it on. If your friend's over, they're like, "Oh snap, that's so cool, that's so different." It's not like everyone else's like PlayStation. That's yours. That's what makes yours different. Yeah, those are definitely some takebacks for me though.
My themes, like, look, I never cared about themes. I really didn't.
Oh yeah.
Until I got this last theme, which was like a limited edition theme. I got. It was free. It was available for a certain period of time from PlayStation. But I was like, holy crap, I love this. I'm never changing this. And now that I got a PS5, I'm like, how do I get my PS4 theme on
Yes,
here? And it's
me
just not
too.
available.
When
I'm
you
so
have that,
disappointed.
yeah, you have that little special something that made your PlayStation like yours, and
It
now
is.
it's like, what makes this mine?
My PS3 still has the Last of Us theme from, because that was a PS3 game.
Yeah,
Some
yeah,
people
yeah.
will forget. But I have
True.
that as my background.
Oh.
And that was the first time I was like, oh, that's a cool theme. I like this.
Mm.
But my PS4 one was like the theme that I loved the most, which was, I think it was like a throwback to PS2.
Yeah.
And not having that on my PS5 is like, it's cool. When you turn it on, it's like, oh, it does.
Yeah.
When you turn it on, it feels like you're turning on a PS3.
Okay, yeah.
It does.
Yeah, it does.
It has
does.
like these little stars and everything. It's like,
Yeah,
holy
the little
shit, this is like a
twinkles.
PS3 throwback.
Yes, there is a lot of throwbacks in it for sure.
But then when you get to the main screen, it's
Yeah.
like, cool, there's like a big game in the background. It's almost like using it for advertisement, because I don't own Spider-Man Miles Morales, but that's what the background is when you turn it on right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that they're going to give you the option to use themes, or if they're going to continue to use that as like a marketing tool, like, oh, look how good this picture looks in the back. Are you interested
and
in
they're
Miles
always gonna
Morales? Do you want to
showcase
buy
the
this game? I hope they don't pull that shit.
I hope it doesn't, become, they would just want to make money.
I hope not too.
I mean,
That would be
obviously
dirty.
they do, but yeah, that would be dirty. Come on, just give us our themes back. I spent money on some of my themes, so it kind of hurts, like, knowing it's not going to go anywhere now. But
Let's compare it really quick, though, to PS4.
Mm.
Did you like the interface of the PS4 better, or do you like the interface of the PS5 better, and why?
That's a tough choice. I want to go with 4 only because that's what I was comfortable with for, obviously the longest. It's
Okay.
7 days.
Okay.
But I can see where the PlayStation 5 surpasses the PS4. Definitely. Like
I couldn't have said that much better.
there is some certain things in there I'm like
The PS4 is like a warm blanket. It's like, oh, this is home. I
Yes.
know exactly where everything
Yes.
is. I know how to change things.
Yep.
I know how to do what I want to do. And the PS5 is like, oh, remember how you used to hold the hold button down on PS3 and
my
PS4? Now you just press it. Don't hold that shit because it's not going to work.
And it's there. And it's kind of like, when you jump from your PS4 back to your PS3 and you see that interface is exactly the same, and you kind of like, that's what happened to me when I jumped back on my PS4.
Let's stop for 1 second. And when's the last time you turned on a PS3?
Oh God. So I traded her in like how many months ago? I would say over a year at least.
No PS3 for over a year.
Over a year.
I turned on my PS3. I still have it hooked up to this day. It's
Oh, wow.
2020. My PS3 is still hooked up in my bedroom. Every time I turn that on, it's like a fucking headache,
Yeah.
man. I can feel my brain melting on how slow everything is, how long it takes. God
The
forbid you
clicking.
enter the store. The store is terrible.
Yeah.
And then you get PS4 and you're like, oh my God, I know where everything is. This works so much better.
Everything's all high tech now.
Then you get PS5 and it's like, things don't work the same, but everything is vastly improved.
everything's like sleek, fast, like
Very fast.
just easy. Like, oh my God.
The 30 seconds it would take for the store to load, or the 20
Yeah.
seconds it would take for the store to load,
Instantly
gone.
I want to go to the
you
store.
are instantly in the store.
Yeah. And then same thing even with games. Like, once you turn on your system, have you jumped back right into your game, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It goes
It throws you right back in there.
I have almost no complaints about the PS5,
Mhm.
other than that the way that things they trained us to be,
Mm-hmm.
they are no longer necessarily
yeah.
there, and you have to retrain yourself. Once you retrain yourself, you're going to be fine,
Yeah.
and the PS5 is going to be a better experience for you, in my opinion. But then you have people like Jenny and I, who still are going to keep our PS4s hooked up,
Yes.
and now you are going to break our brains every time we
Yeah.
have to jump from a PS4 to a PS5 and back and forth,
Mm-hmm.
because the interface is different.
It's different, but it's still like, it's still similar. We can figure it out.
It is, but it's like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
On my PS3, I got to tap the home button once,
Yeah,
or on my
yeah.
PS4, I got to hold the
Now I
home
gotta
button
hold
down.
it. It's getting used to. It is getting used to. Ugh.
But I think overall it's an improvement, and if you spend some time with it, you're gonna enjoy it more at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely.
Faux show.
Hmm. Video games.
The games.
The games.
So these are your launch titles for PS5. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Astro's Playroom, which is installed on every PS5. Bugsnax, which, if you have PlayStation Plus, is a free download up until I think sometime in February or January. It's quite a while.
Oh, it's a limited time too?
It's yeah.
Oh.
Because it's PlayStation Plus.
PlayStation Plus.
But normally it's only 30 days, and this is until
nice.
sometime in January or February. Like, it's a long
That's good. They're giving people time to get their PS5s.
Indeed, which they need to, because
Yes.
there's none. Demon's Souls, the remake from Blue Point. Destiny 2 Beyond Light, which is the new expansion for the game. Godfall. I think there's a subtitle to that, but we're just going to say Godfall. Observer, System Redux, The Pathless, Sackboy, A Big Adventure, and Spider-Man, Miles Morales.
Yes.
So out of these titles, we've got to spend some time with 2 of them. We have not played Demon's Souls, Destiny 2, Godfall, Observer, The Pathless, Sackboy, and Spider-Man. Personally, for me, guys, I am very interested in The Pathless. I will get that at some point, for sure. Spider-Man, Miles Morales sounds interesting to me. That'll be something I jump into in the future. And Sackboy.
Sackboy, too. Oh, Little Big Planet fan all the way. Oh, my God.
So those are the ones that you would also pick as well.
Yeah.
If let's just say you had like $1 million right now, those are the 3 that you would buy.
Yep, I would do Sackboy, Spider-Man for sure. I think that is like gonna put that PS5 to its capabilities as well.
Oh yeah, right now Spider-Man and Demon's Souls are probably the best 2-looking games on the system.
Yeah, okay. Spider-Man might have to be next.
I think I'm gonna go Pathless next.
Oh.
If I had an extra $50 laying around, I think it would go towards the Pathless. The Pathless is only $50 because it's a smaller title.
That's not bad.
So what we got to experience was Astro's Playroom and Bugsnax. So I think should we start with Bugsnax?
Okay, Bugsnax, yeah.
Okay, so we both experienced Bugsnax today for the first time. We played it together it's a 1-player game, but we just took turns playing it. Probably about an hour, 45 minutes.
45 minutes, yeah.
Okay. Tell me, what were your thoughts about Bugsnax?
Well, going into it, I'm not gonna lie, my expectations were kind of low.
Mine were too. There's a lot of like memes, and there was a lot of like what I would call fake hype around this game.
Yeah, I mean by PlayStation itself, right? Like they were kind of hyping this up. It was in like their
PlayStation, and there's a lot of influencers. Like if you watch people on like YouTube like us, many of them are not like us. Many of them like overhype the living shit out of things.
Oh yeah, Bugsnax.
And exactly, that's how Bugsnax was. Which it should never have been a thing. Like there was like memes and stuff like, oh yeah, it's kind of it's cute.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'll play it because it's free.
Yes.
Would you have paid money for the game? What did you think about the game? Let me know.
Definitely would not have paid money for the game.
Me neither.
I'm surprised. Well, I'm happy they made it free. Obviously. I'm surprised this is so hyped. I'm surprised this was like pushed for the PS5. But I get it. It is like perfect for all ages, easy to jump in for anyone.
It is a great PlayStation Plus game.
It is.
It was a good get for probably Shuhei, who he was in charge of like their indies and stuff. He probably was the one who got this to become a PlayStation Plus game, so kudos to him. This is a great PS Plus game, especially if you have a family.
Yes, 100%. But I would still go more towards Astro's Playroom. Like if it was, if anything should have been charged, Astro's Playroom is like that. I would have paid money for that.
It's great.
Before Bugsnax. Bugsnax as itself, though, I don't even know.
You described it to me earlier as, I think you said, poor man's Pokemon.
It is like, a poor man's ripped off Pokemon. It's just a hot mess to me.
I'm gonna have to take your word because I never played a Pokemon game.
You got burgers named Borgers. You got
Bunger.
Oh, Bunger. I'm sorry, a Bunger burger. You got French fry spiders.
They were called Friders.
You got, what was the shish kebab? Like a shish kebab ant thing. It was like
I can't remember the name of it.
But then
it's kind of cute. If you had a kid, it's like, oh, that's kind of cute.
Yeah. I'm all for cute things. I was just like more scared and like scared and confused. You feed these like poor animal Pokemon food objects to these weird seal, otter people.
Yeah, they are kind of strange.
Cat things. And then their body turns into it.
You said one interesting thing too about it when we were playing it. The bug snacks themselves say their names. Like
they do, just like Pokemon. So the Borger will be like Borger. Or Bung. I'm sorry. Bunger.
It's like bunghole.
Yeah.
But bunger.
I wish I remember the shish kebab one, because that one was honestly pretty funny to me, though.
I can't remember the name of it. Shish Kaban?
Yeah, Shish Kaban. I think so too. But it's just so funny hearing them be like bunger, 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 bunger.
But that's so weird that they would try to rip off Pokemon like to that extent.
Yeah, and you're capturing them. When you capture them, they go in your remote and you can hear them be like bunger. Is that not Pokemon?
You're asking the wrong person if that's Pokemon. I have. It's called Shishka Bug.
Shishka Bug.
Shishka Bug. Is that right? It says Shishka Bug on here.
I guess so. It was.
I guess that's what it was called.
But the whole concept of the game is to capture these.
It's a puzzle game.
Yeah, it is a puzzle game. You capture these guys and scan them, capture them, and
you have to figure
them.
out how to capture them. Like
yes,
that's the puzzle.
That is the biggest thing. Yeah.
Here's some tools.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to use these tools to capture this bug snack?
Right. In a puzzle aspect, I've played a few puzzle games. I don't think it was that like, I don't know, like satisfaction from a puzzle game like you get though. Did you feel that?
I mean, I didn't really feel that either. I felt that like I didn't enjoy the game, which is odd because I'm not like somebody who's like, oh,
hating on it. Yeah,
it's a fucking kids game. I'm not gonna play this shit. That's not me.
No,
That's not who I am.
Like that either.
But I was just like, this feels like they're trying too hard.
It just felt lazy in a way though. Like really, that was like the best you could bug snacks.
I can see a kid liking that, like a young child liking that. But I also think some of the puzzles were like too hard for like a very young child to comprehend.
We struggled a bit, huh?
I'm like, wait, how is a young kid supposed to understand this? Like, I figured stuff out. I was like, I can get this. But I'm just trying to think, if I was a 5-year-old and I was playing this game, like that's probably above what a 5-year-old can think of. I don't think it's a good audience that was portrayed to. That's definitely more towards like the younger family-oriented crowd. Yes, I think this is the crowd that they were trying to hit on. Oh, okay. A family playing the game together, where there's adults in the room that can help the children, but the children are playing the game. Okay. Because a child would probably enjoy the game, but the puzzles may be too hard for the child. Yeah. So the parents would be there to help the children. Okay. But the parents are probably not going to enjoy the game. Yeah. And being an adult, I was like, I'm glad this was free. Bug snacks. Can you imagine? Here we go again. Yeah, it wasn't for me. It's for it. You're right. I think if you had a family, it is a certain audience. It's not everyone that picks up that PS5. I don't think everyone's going to download that and play it. But that also makes it a great PS5 game, right? For that audience. It's not for me. But you also didn't have to pay anything for it if you have a PlayStation Plus membership. Yes, so I'm glad they made it free. Yeah. I wouldn't have played it otherwise, so I'm glad I got the experience. Wasn't for me. Mm-hmm. And then there was a built-in game to every single system, which is Astro's Playroom. Mm-hmm. My God, what an experience. And I've only experienced 1/4 of the game. I'm only 1/4 of the way through that game, and it is spectacular. That is all you need. That is all you need to get that PS5 experience is just one level. And they throw you in there. You're feeling the rumbles. You're feeling the rain. You're feeling the wind. You are getting the whole PlayStation 5 experience in that game. So the game is very unique. It's supposed to bring you inside of the PlayStation, and like it's supposed to show you how different things work. Like there's cooling springs or whatever. Yeah. There's like different areas that teach you like, oh, this is the GPU. Yeah. This is the CPU. But you're playing a game through all of this stuff. Yeah. And the game is built around those themes. Mm-hmm. I went into PlayStation Memories right away, and I didn't realize it, but that was probably the most impactful thing that I could have chosen right away, because it's showing you like all this old school PlayStation stuff. Yes. There's like PS1 controllers, PS1 DualShock controllers, PS1 non-DualShock controllers. There's memory cards and stuff. Yes. So as you go further, you get to explore all the other past gen. Spoiler. You get to experience all the other past gen systems, which is like, I feel like that even adds to the experience. Like you're like, oh my God, I remember the PS1. Oh, I remember the PS2 cartridge. They had you might have been too young for it, but there was a PS1. Like, it was spelled out like PS and then ONE.
Oh.
There was a console that they made that came out later on. It was a smaller console.
Yeah.
But it also had a TV that was available for it. When that TV popped up, I was like, oh my God.
Was it the little, like,
the small one?
And I was wondering about that, and I like how they add the little descriptions to it, too.
So here's an old man story for you. Give me 3 seconds of your time. I worked at EB Games back in New Jersey, and those things went to clearance, and those TV screens were $50. And at the time, I was too young and not understanding enough to be like, I don't care about these. I should have bought one of those screens. They were brand new in the box for $50.
You could have bought like 4.
And I was like, no. By that time, I think PS2 had already come out. I was interested in like those games. I certainly had a Dreamcast by that point. Like, I was on to other things, but I remember seeing those TVs getting clearance, like those little screens getting clearance out for like $50. And like, should I buy one of these? Like, nah, I'm good.
Oh,
mistakes
if you
were
did,
made, ladies and gentlemen.
If you did. But yeah, that was great. They really take you through past generations. I like the whole like getting those little artifacts and seeing it.
Definitely.
That was a good game. It was a great game compared to Bug Snacks.
Oh, not only that, it really teaches you like the different things of like how you can use your controller. I felt the tension and the triggers, which was the adaptive triggers for the first time.
So awesome.
That controller is really spectacular, and you won't understand how good that controller is unless you probably play Astro's Playroom at this point. I can't imagine a game like Spider-Man going that in depth with the controller the way that Astro's Playroom does.
Yeah, I can't imagine either. I hope so though.
I heard that it does not.
Oh no.
I heard it's just like, oh, here's a cool feature, but it doesn't experience it the same way that Astro's Playroom does it.
But that's what I was hoping for though when the PS5 was announced, when they announced the haptic feedback and all that. I was hoping to see.
We may get more of that in the future, but
hopefully we do. Yeah.
I hope they do too, because it really. I mean, honestly, it's really like up there with like best controllers of all time. Like I've only used the controller a handful of times at this point, and it's already like top tier.
I think that thing makes the whole system by itself. That controller is the experience.
It feels next generation.
Yes.
Where to go, I talked about Xbox a couple times, just to go back really quick, the Xbox Series X controller just feels like sort of like an evolution to what the past controller was. It feels like a step in the right direction. They didn't have to change much. They added a few differences. But the PlayStation controller was leaps and bounds ahead of what the last one was.
That thing is practically a little system itself.
It is. It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Speaking of phenomenal things, what were some of the pros of the PS5 for you?
Ooh, obviously the controller. All the way. Controller was great. Easy to hold. Totally different from the PS4, but yet still so similar. Visually was great. I noticed a complete difference from my PS4 Pro. First of all, PS4 Pro from the PS5. There is definitely, I would say, an improvement there. You can see it.
Did you have an original PS4 before you had a Pro?
I did.
Okay, so going from the PS4 Pro, going from the PS4 original, that's what I had, to the PS4 Pro was a huge advantage.
Really? Oh, I was actually going to say I didn't notice that big of a difference.
I have an obsession with time and just the way you navigate menus and stuff.
Like loading and stuff.
It was so much better. I was like, I can never go back to a regular PlayStation after this.
You're right. But what about visually?
And now that I got a PS5,
different.
And I'm going back to a PS4, it's like,
different. Yeah.
There's going to be a huge difference there, guys.
It's amazing.
It's so effing fast. I can't even explain.
I know.
Everything is amazing. Like, it's instant. There's no waiting. There's nothing.
I don't think I waited for any of my games. Yeah.
It feels like you'll remember this because you actually had a Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
You put in the game, you turn it on. Yep. Guess what? Did you have a loading screen? Did you have to wait 50 hours for something to load? Did you have time to grab your phone and check Twitter and see what's going on in the world? Or did you just start playing the game?
Oh, that was so great. That is what the system should be. That is what it should be.
It's wonderful.
It is great.
So those things are excellent. I will also add, this system, as gigantic as a son of a bitch it is,
huge,
is very quiet. way quieter than the PS4 Pro, way quieter than any PS4 system that you had.
Yeah.
Probably as quiet. I would say even quieter. I have a PS3 Slim, and that system I think is pretty quiet. This is quieter than that system for sure.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and I know a lot of people were worried about that too with the whole like cooling, and they figured it was going to be this big old fan in here making all the loud noise.
It is a large fan.
Yeah.
But it's quiet.
Yeah, it is quiet, and the design they made for it is perfect. No overheating, hopefully.
So far,
problems.
so good.
Yeah, so far, so good.
And then going back to the faster thing, jumping around from apps, I didn't have as much experience as you do. How did you feel like jumping around from like one thing to the next? Like, was that pretty snappy, or like how did it feel?
With ease. Again, my favorite thing is just turning on my PlayStation and them jumping back like into my game for me. Like, I'm not here to go scroll around and go look at anything else. You know, you want to just play your games, and that's what they really made this about again. Is that your games?
Nice.
It's amazing.
What are some of the cons you had for the system?
Ooh.
Obviously, it was gargantuan.
Yeah, she big again.
But again, the cooling is quiet, so it's like it's like a fucking trade-off. You know what I mean? You get some, you lose some.
Yeah. The themes for me were honestly the biggest thing. I really care about that customization, and not having that in this is a little sad.
I never thought I would say it, but I miss the themes.
Yeah.
Bring it back, PlayStation.
Please. But other than that, honestly, I don't have many complaints yet, personally.
My other complaints would be the biggest thing for me is storage, because I'm a storage whore. I have an 8 terabyte hard drive.
All the games.
With like every PS4 game on there that I thought like a month ago, I thought I would be able to just plug in. Done. Don't need my PS4 Pro anymore. I'm good. I got all my shit on here. I can move it around the way I need to. And that's not the case. Highly disappointing for me. And the other main issue I had is the home button is different. Like what? Like I understand like making things better. Maybe this will be better in the future. I think that they probably did. I don't think those people that work at Sony, I don't think the executives are dumb. No. I think they knew that this would challenge people. This would be annoying to people.
It's going to be change, yeah.
But I think a year from now, people who have PS5s aren't even going to be talking about it anymore. It's going to be like, this is the way you play.
Yeah.
This is better.
This is the new thing.
So although I have to get adjusted to it, it's probably an improvement overall. And then the sad part is that VR is not ready.
Yes.
I mean, we're both VR fans. We both have a PSVR. I had a PSVR from day one. I haven't played it as much. It is a lot to do.
It is a lot to set up too, yeah.
For the love of God, Sony, I hope that you make a PSVR 2, because it is absolutely phenomenal.
Too.
Make it wireless. Make it somehow connecting to my PS. Make it a seamless transition, and I will use that thing like non-stop.
Just less wires, even like that is like a.
It's
a
ritual.
Rock Band. It is.
When I have to hook up Rock Band,
it's a ritual.
It's like when I ask my wife, I'm like, Claudia, do you want to play Rock Band? Yeah. It's like, well, you know. I gotta have at least 20 minutes to hook all this shit up. Like, I want to play Rock Band, but it's not gonna be now. Yeah. It's gonna be 20 minutes from now.
Give me 20 minutes to do this, and then I gotta get the TV to this, and then we gotta put
and
this.
VR's not as bad. VR's like, all right, can you give me 15 minutes? Can you give me 10 minutes to like go through and hook everything up? But I'm fucking 30-something years old. I'm just like, I gotta do what?
Yeah.
No.
And then you don't want to play it as much after that.
Exactly.
Like my VR will collect dust sometimes because I'm like, I want to play Beat Saber, but do I want to set it up?
I would still be playing Beat Saber every day if I could just grab a headset and go. But I don't want shit strewn about. I'm not gonna leave that thing hooked up 24/7.
No.
And now that I have a PS5, like, and my PS4 is like this close to being like disconnected from the main TV and going on to the secondary TV, that's like not going to happen anymore if you don't make it easier for me to play VR.
And I wonder how the PS4 VR is going to, run on it too.
I think it'll run fine because the system's more powerful. If anything, it'll probably run better. The screen's not going to improve because the screen's built into the headset, but it might be faster loading times and things like that. The downfall of it is you got this big, beautiful machine that's way prettier than your PS4, and now you're looking at a PSVR headset that's even less than a PS4.
And now you're going to have all these wires coming out of it, too, all hectic and
PlayStation,
crazy.
You have got to make a PSVR version for the PS5.
They do.
You have to.
I hope so.
You have to.
Yeah. Because no one's going to want adapters. Like, what about people that are going to buy a PSVR for their PS5? I mean,
right.
Or they're losing money at that point. Maybe they think they can't get a PS4 VR.
Just make a new headset. Make it backwards compatible with your old games.
Yeah.
Make that shit work. Figure it out.
Please.
You guys have the leading VR headset in the
do,
world.
Yeah.
You're beating Oculus. You're beating, what's the other? Not Evo. What's the other one called? HTC Vive.
Ah.
Those are the two main competitors, and you're killing both of them.
Yep.
Why are you not going to make a PSVR 2? You have to do it.
Yeah.
Have to.
Please. You got a camera ready.
Not only that, not only do I want to see you make a PSVR 2, I want you to start branching out. Advertise this thing for what the power truly is.
Yeah.
Put your VR stations in sports arenas. It's COVID season. Put your cameras in the center court. In the center court seat in an NBA game and let people watch that. Put it in, a WWE arena in the best seat in the house and let people watch that in VR.
Oh.
Put your cameras on Mars and let people look around. No, I'm not joking.
Mars, yeah.
Send a camera to Mars and let people see Mars in VR. Yeah. And you will change the way people think about PlayStation VR.
And it's so much easier. They already got the system. They already got the setup. They just need the headset.
VR is cool for games. Those things that I just mentioned are going to impact the market far more than a video game ever will. Being like it's center court in basketball season and you paid $5 for a virtual ticket when you have COVID and you can't actually go to a basketball game.
Yeah.
That's a game changer, PlayStation. You have this ready.
Do it.
That's my rant for today. Sorry. Had to edit.
He's like, let me bring that down.
Sorry, guys. I probably spiked the shit on the microphone for the past 5 minutes. I had to get that out of me. So my last question for you, Jenny, as we wrap this up. Let's talk about the outsiders right now. The people who were unfortunate enough to not get a PS5 because there are tons and tons of you guys out there.
Sucks to suck. Just kidding.
I feel bad for y'all.
I know.
But let's ask an honest question. Is this the right time to jump into the PS5? What do you think?
I really don't think so. I think if you missed out, you didn't miss out. Like, there is still so much room for improvement for PS5. I think they're just going to improve more in the future and just wait it out. And there's going to be those patches and all that. You didn't need it on first day. I wouldn't have needed it on first day.
I agree 100%. I think the system is great. The system runs all the great things we had to say, which was most of this podcast. It was positive in my opinion. There was a few negatives.
Yeah.
It's really, look, at the end of the day, I'm a gamer. There are no games I can say that are like, oh my God, you need to get a PS5 to play this game. There's not a single one that I can say is you need to go get a PS5 today for.
Yeah.
Miles Morales, you can play on PS4. Assassin's Creed, you can play on PS4. Demon Souls is a PS5 exclusive, which is probably one of the most arguable things to get a PS5 for. But guess what? You already played that on PS3. Yeah, it looks prettier. It probably plays better, but you still already played the game.
Yep.
The best argument I can give out of this entire list is probably things like Sackboy: A Big Adventure, The Pathless. No, I'm sorry. Sackboy's on PS4. My bad. The Pathless and Astro's Playroom. Astro's Playroom is the reason to get a PS5.
That's what I was going to say.
It comes installed on the PS5.
It really, at the end of the day, this is an experience. Like, right now, it's an experience.
It is.
I don't think it's something that this is a long-term, like, I'm a game every day. Right now, I experience the PlayStation 5. Am I going to keep playing on it? Not as much. Until more games come out.
Right. If you bought a PlayStation 5 in 2 years from now, you might not even play your free copy of Astro's Playroom.
Yeah, there'll be too much selection. Right,
because there'll be tons of stuff. Yeah. But right now, that's the best. That is the best thing on the PS5. And it's free.
Yeah. Don't spend, $500?
No, if you can wait, you're only going to benefit yourself. If you can't wait, I get that. I get buying into the hype. Look, the reason we got it, we were part of Nerd Enthusiasts. Yeah. We had to have these PlayStations. We had to be able to tell you guys, what we think. And these are our honest opinions. I love my PlayStation 5. if I wasn't doing Nerd Enthusiast, could I have waited a while? Absolutely.
Yup.
Absolutely, I could have waited a while. But I want to tell you guys about what's important, what's happening now. We need to be in the know.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah, I wanted to experience what's going on, what's the hype's all about. I got to. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. I hope everyone gets to try it out, honestly. Even if you're borrowing someone's, I think that would have been a great option. Just playing on someone else's, try some Astro's Playroom, and you're like, nah, I don't need to buy a system.
Right. But to freak out, exactly, to freak out and like want to get one right now, when Astro's Playroom is the best thing, y'all can chill out for a while.
That's what you're missing out on.
You're good.
Yeah.
You know, we'll talk when Ratchet and Clank comes out, when like a whole new wave of games comes out, where we're like, y'all need to buy PS5. We're not there yet.
Not yet.
No. And we're going to talk about the Xbox soon. Very soon. So stay tuned for that. Please follow us at Nerd Enthusiast. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, the Gram. TikTok, by the way. We have the most followers on TikTok. Over 1,000 followers over on TikTok, so make sure you guys hop on that.
And Patreon.
Please. Support us on Patreon. Juan. We love you. We don't want Juan to be the only Juan anymore. We want 2 or 3 or 4 people.
Yes.
If you guys want to go on there, support us. It really helps us out. We spend a lot of time doing this stuff. It might not seem like it might seem to you guys like we turn on the camera and we just go, but that's not the case. All of our shows take a lot of time, and any support you can provide helps us. It helps the show. Our money is going to go back into the company. It's going to go back into, getting new equipment. We're going to sound better. We're going to look better. We're going to buy upgraded stuff for you.
Yeah.
So if you can support us, we greatly appreciate that. Definitely go over to Patreon to help us out. Jenny, I want to thank you for being on with us today for this special edition of the PS5.
Amazing. This was fun. This is too fun.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Stay tuned next time for some Xbox coverage.
Ooh, Xbox.
We love you.
Bye.
Take care.